Thanks for tuning in to our 2019 Spring Cab Cams, brought to you by Homan Incorporated. More information online at homaninc.com. Well, we're in Delaware County today. Too wet to be planted right now, but we're doing some other activities, which usually is probably too wet to be doing otherwise. Joining us, John Davis, farmer over this way, and we're in the cab of his Gator. John, I guess tell us what we're doing out here today.
Well, Joel, today we're putting down a little bit of glyphosate and a little bit of a burned down product and some residual product on some field here that's going to go to soybeans.
And it's pretty wet out here, too wet to be out here in anything except for, well, this piece of equipment. Tell us what we're driving in.
Well, this is a John Deere Gator 835R. It's got some tracks that I've put on it, and I'm pulling a sprayer with a 45-foot boom, 200-gallon sprayer, and it seems to work pretty well.
So as you're talking out here, you know, it's pretty wet out in this field, but you're getting some things done more than a lot of farmers aren't able to right now. How much earlier are you able to get out here, you know, with this system?
Well, actually, it's interesting. My dad asked me that same question this morning. He said, how long until we get the big sprayers on the field? And my estimate right now is at least 3 days before I could get a big sprayer out in this field, everywhere in the field. Now, there'd be places it would be nice, but there'd be places you'd make a horrible mess. So, you know, I'm guessing I'm getting in the field every bit of 3 to 4 days ahead of another piece of equipment.
Farmers looking at this system, it is a viable option out there.
It really is. You know, I said, you know, let's say you only spray 150 acres a day, and you're out there 4 days ahead of time. You know, those add up. And what's going to happen this week is, you know, it's going to get about to where you can get in the field on Friday, and then it's going to rain again. So, you know, I'm basically taking the risk and taking this opportunity to try it this way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's another opportunity that we have to take advantage of. What I'm spraying now is the burn down, putting down a little bit of residual and a little bit of glyphosate. And I've set the Gator up with it's a Raven Invisio 2 monitor. It's got AccuBoom, so it will automatically shut off the booms, and I'm running a smart track system for the auto steer.
So, John, how'd this idea all come about? I mean, it's a pretty unique system of several things brought together, and they seem to be working pretty well.
Well, it came about basically because weather. Just like everybody else, we've been fighting a lot of wet weather this spring, and you know, we've got to the point now where, you know, we can't get in the field with any other piece of equipment right now. And if you look across the field, the weeds are obviously starting to get away from us a little bit. And I just decided, you know, a few weeks ago when it started raining, that maybe we try to set something up to where if we could get in the field, it might be beneficial. You always weigh those options, Joel, of whether it's good to go in and do it now or just wait and plant and try and kill it after, you know, the beans are up. But I think what we've learned over the past several years is it's good to plant into a relatively clean field. So hopefully once it dries up and I get some of this herbicide on, we'll have a better seed bed to plant into.
Tell us about the Gator, first of all. Let's start up front here. Track system, you don't see that very often on Gators.
No, it is available. It's the tracks are actually a Camoplast is what the company's name is. They're out of Canada. And they make tracks for, if you've ever been to a farm show, they make tracks for almost everything. Your ATV, your tractors, trucks, trailers. More common on Gators and UTVs than you'd think. I've seen them around, but they do work really well. I actually had them on my other Gator and just transferred them to this Gator.
How many acres can you cover with this system?
Well, it is the one negative about this system. Obviously, you don't have a terribly large tank. It's got a 200-gallon tank. I'm spraying 10 gallon to the acre. Easy math, 20 acres. So you do have to refill. So the way I handle that is I have another person, Jason. He mixes and pre-mixes on the trailer, and then I have a shuttle, you know, that I bring right to the field, and that way you have the opportunity to get more done. About a week ago, I sprayed 185 acres one day, and I think back a few years ago when I used it, I got to 200 in one day. But when you're moving, you know, you're running 12 mile an hour, and you know, it's a 45-foot boom, so you can cover some ground.
And floater tires on the sprayer back there.
Yeah, that was another addition. We added a set of tires to give it a little bit more flotation. The rig really works fairly well, and it seems like I get pretty good coverage. I do spray with a it's a bi-directional tip, so it's spraying both directions, so it's kind of hitting the weed as it's coming at it and hitting the weed coming back, the other direction.
Some common questions you get with this thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys, when you're talking to farmers like Bart Johnson and others, you get all kinds of questions that I'm sure conversation comes about.
I think one of the big things everybody wonders is just, like you ask, why on earth did you do that? And I just do it so Bart has something to film, to be real honest about it. But no, anyway, we did it, like I said, it works very well. There have been years, Joel, where we've actually posted beans. I'll take the tracks off the gator, I'll put the tires back on, and I'll take one of those sets of tracks off the sprayer, and you can actually go in and post, and it actually works fairly well. This would be a really good rig, honestly, for, if a guy was farming 300 or 400 acres and wanted to spray his own, his own ground, this thing would really be an economical, efficient way to do it.
A little different than riding on that Alice Chalmers in the opening of Agri Country.
Yeah, that's a big change from that's many, many years ago too, Joel.
John Davis, Delaware County farmer, joining us out here. It is May 14th, and we're out here doing some things in the field that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do with this unique setup of his. John, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joel.
It's being brought to you by Homan Incorporated, your source for manure handling equipment and more. Details online at homaninc.com. For the Ohio Ag Net, I'm Joel Bedore-Wood.
Hello, this is Dale Everman with Homan Incorporated. I'd like to thank you for watching the cab camp for the spring of 2019. Today we're going to talk about manure handling. We've got a few pieces behind me here that will help you get your job done this spring or this fall. And I know the past few months have been pretty wet, so I'm sure there's some manure and stuff out there that needs to get hauled before you plant this season. Give us a call. We'd be more than happy to work with you and see if we can't help get your manure pits and holding barns cleaned out. Homan Inc., your first choice in manure handling and drag lining equipment.